What's up, everyone? It's Alex Regier, co-founder of Story Hunter. I'm really excited about this next interview with Jeffrey Wisenbaugh. He's the head of content at Instagram, which means he manages at Instagram on Instagram, which is the #1 most popular social media account in the world. This is part 1 of a 2-part series we're going to be doing with Jeffrey. And in this one, we're going to be focusing on video strategy, audience development, and how to build a content team for the most diverse audience the world has ever seen. It's the biggest social media account in the world. So that means you have probably, I'd assume, the most diverse audience in the world. How do you create content when you need to have it resonate with so many different people?
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps to take sort of like one sort of step back and understand how Instagram, if you don't know, Instagram, social media, amazing platform, really focused on letting people connect with the things and people you love, the people and things you love, and it really at a higher level, it's allowing people to find their interests, are willing to express themselves, having a platform to do that, and then feel supported in expressing yourself. You have to sort of feel comfortable expressing yourself on Instagram, and that's what we really focus on hitting in our content through at Instagram, on Instagram. It's really about identifying people who do really, really cool things on the platform and telling their authentic story.
Yeah, so we met first in LA when you were at Group 9 Media, you know, a digital media company.
Yeah.
Maybe you can talk a little bit about the differences or what you realized moving from a place like Group 9 to Instagram.
Yeah, Group 9 is amazing, loved my experience, and I think that's one of the things that excited me about joining Instagram is that it's a mission-driven brand. It's a mission-driven place where we tell stories across the board, and it's exciting to go to a tech company like the Instagram brand at Facebook, being able to really embrace the individual and sort of creative mentality around things. So we're creating similar content across the surfaces. It's nice to sort of get to peek behind the curtain and kind of see how things work. What are really the trends and the type of content that resonates with certain audiences and content categories. So whether that be skateboarding, whether that's makeup, beauty, being able to see what really engages people, and then being able to take those metrics and insights and then use them in content is really, really exciting to me.
Do you have just certain specialists of certain types of stories, beats? How do you recruit, or how do you build a team for that diverse audience?
And it's really identifying the things that matter to the people that follow us. I think it's taking a look at analytics, really looking at the insights of what resonates, what doesn't resonate, and really we have this sort of lift the floor mentality of let's not embrace the hot thing at that specific time. Let's try to lift our programming overall to make sure we're creating the best content possible. And then I think it's really localizing it and understanding that people might also want repeatable franchises and series. That's another thing we've started. I think before, and I use this example, but we might previously, before June, we launched repeatable franchises and series. We might have told a story of a potter from Portugal on Wednesday and then a BMX biker from Kentucky on Thursday. Beautiful content, pretty amazing, just visuals. But there were, from an audience perspective, it was like, cool, I love seeing this, but kind of why? And so we built clear buckets that have underlying themes that can be repeated on a weekly basis.
How many regional kind of teams or producers do you have?
Yeah, so we have a team of 10, mostly based in San Francisco, but then utilize Story Hunter and many other freelancers from around the world to make sure we're capturing that authentic content authentically.
And are people watching IGTV? It's vertical, right?
Yeah.
So are people sitting back and watching it? It's mostly phone. It's not like converting to TV or different screens?
Definitely mobile first. It is vertical. They just actually added the feature to make it horizontal as well, to expand that storytelling and be able to really get some great content up there and open the door for more creators to be able to create that content. We love vertical. I think it fills your phone. Most people are consuming on their phones, so it's a much more immersive experience. But if you have something that looks better artistically in horizontal, you can prop that phone, pop it open, and make it full screen and have that more of that sort of sit back a connection with a creator or just a topic matter in general.
Yeah. What have you found? What are things that really help improve engagement?
Yeah, it's people first. It's really what it is. It comes down to. It's people first, passionate stories around people on Instagram. Hopefully, if you're following at Instagram, you understand what we're bringing you, and people are there to see this type of content. But it really is feeling the passion from people, and it's a lot of creators, it's a lot of people who have crafts, it's a lot of people who are just doing cool things on Instagram. That's really what differentiates our content, and just being able to sense that passion through someone, with someone through this type of content is what resonates. I think if it excites you as you're capturing it, it will hopefully excite an audience, and also I think through our advocates piece, it's also takeaways too. Like, what can I do if I'm watching this content? What can I do, and how do I get engaged? I think is something that also gets people really, really excited.
And what have you seen over the past 18 months?
The fact that IGTV is just now over a year old, we're not even hit the 18-month timeline, is something really incredible. I think being able to see that evolve and transition over time, like the IGTV series tools, just being able to search within IGTV is something else that's really important, and being able to discover that content. I also think interactive storytelling is really cool. I think there are people using the story tools, whether that be polling, the quiz sticker, being able to actually feel like you are having a hand in a way a story is being told, and using stories on Instagram, I think is really exciting.
How do you provoke engagement on IGTV or on posts?
Yeah, I think IGTV is definitely a personality, sort of visual-driven medium and surface, and I think it's having those people engage with the audience, having it be a repeatable format and series that people can get behind. So if I know this series is going up every single Tuesday, I'm hopefully excited about it. I'm going to go there every Tuesday and feel like I have that personal connection with them through comments, through sharing, and I think they're adding additional tools in IGTV to make that even a more engaging place.
When you look at who to kind of hire for your in-house producer team, what are you kind of looking for?
Yeah, someone who has amazing experience in diverse storytelling, I think is super important. I mean, it is a global account telling global stories. I think brand experience is another thing that's important, being able to tell just people first stories that excites, and being able to pull that passion out of something. I mean, you're passionate about things. If I can talk with you as a producer or someone sitting down and talking with you, and I can pull that from you, I think that's really, really important. I think also someone who is sort of ahead of the trends, finding those sort of niche interests. I know like ASMR and beauty, and using your face as a canvas, those type of things that are only happening on Instagram and emerge from Instagram, being able to identify those early and then being able to create compelling content around those is something that really is something that we look for.
Passion is so important, but how do you then create kind of alignment? How do you make people make a decision that everyone agrees with, or do you not have to have everyone agree? What's your take on that?
We don't always agree. We try to agree. I think it's I would say it's a pretty democratic process, but we understand that we're driven by a mission and we have our values and we stick to those. And I think if you have those to not fall back on but rely on, it's super important being able to embrace those things and going, okay, we're all here because we all agree on these things. This is our guiding principle. We have our sort of North Star, and we shouldn't deviate from it. And if we do deviate from it, we need to have a real discussion why we're doing that, and just be really focused and principled.
So we're going to go over to the, what is it called?
I think it's the Dome. It's like this really cool, like prismy, cool, colorful gradient thing here that only Instagram can have.
So we're going to go to the Dome for part 2, and we're going to talk more about kind of how to create stories for Instagram, and what story hunters and creators can do to tell the right stories. Great. Thanks.
Sweet.
Yeah, let's go over to the Dome.
Let's do it.
See you next week, part 2.